Hi, Allie. First, I want to congratulate you on really improving how fluid your gesture was last night. I really appreciated seeing how much thought you put into going from plunk, plunk, plunk to I am trying to shape the actual character of the piece. And there was so much more that was happening there than what I'd seen in the past. It was really quite amazing. And it really just goes to show what you're capable of in such a short period of time. I mean, really, you should be really proud for the work that you've done. I would like to take this opportunity to really quickly offer one tip regarding your gesture to help facilitate that fluidity even more. Currently, you have a gesture that's going kind of very plunk, 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 plunk like this. And if you take that gesture and let it stop being from the wrist and start controlling the gesture from the upper arm, from the muscles in the upper arm, specifically these right here. I don't know what they're called, sorry. But what you'll get is more of this. So see how my wrist is still moving? But it's much more fluid, and it's not getting in the way of creating a second ictus point, which is what happens when we do this. This is petting the cat. Okay, so there's a kitty cat. There's a cat. I'm petting the cat. All right, and this is conducting with fluidity. More grazing your hand through water, taking your hand and running it through water. I think I've said a million times, one of the best things you can do to learn how legato feels is conduct it in the water, underwater. So if you're lifeguarding and you've got time to be in the water, please run your movement under the water as much as you can, and you'll be surprised. That's the kind of feel that you're going to give. There's a nice give off of it, but it's going to be the muscles up here that help control the movement. So that's my tip to help continue you on your path of fluidity, which you are already walking on with a great deal of confidence. Let's go into our soprano line. Your sectional was fantastic. The way you ran it was great. The acoustics in there are really good. I didn't realize how good the acoustics are in 146. And it fell apart a little bit when we got back to 162. And I actually think that the reason had nothing to do with you. I think the reason had more to do with the fact that you had a couple of sopranos that felt they had to show off in front of the rest of the choir, and they were feeling more confident when it was just a small group. I know who one of those voices probably was, and I think once we get people like Haley back, Haley was not there last night, I think that will help a little bit to kind of taper them down. But what I've been saying to pretty much every single person in these videos is, when we have a section where we have somebody who's just standing out like a darn sore thumb and can't seem to figure out that their volume is not the same volume as everybody else's, and dang it, it's destroying everything, if they're not tone deaf, they're just blasting everybody out of the water, not using vibrato, and kind of flat, then your next step is, okay, how do I take care of this without calling them out by name? And goddamn it, I'm tempted to call them out by name. Instead of calling them out by name, not the best choice for people's psyche, what I would recommend is ask your sopranos. Tell them, I want to unify the sound a bit better, sopranos. So in order to do that, we need to listen more carefully to the voices around us. I want you to listen to your neighbor, and I want you to match the color and the tone of your voice to your neighbor around you. Never mention volume. Only mention the color and the tone. And then let them sing something, and then go, oh, well, you know, we can work with that a little bit. I'm hearing a little bit too much right now from over here, and I'd like to hear a little. And then as soon as you say too much from one section, then point to another section that could be giving you more. So that way you can kind of turn the nozzle. If you just say, just this section's giving me too much, they'll shut up completely, and then you won't get very much sound. But I'm hearing too much from this section, and I could really use a little bit more from this section, just to balance out this tone and to even it out. And that might help to get rid of the piercing sounds that are coming from, and honestly, from one singer from Tucson Masterworks Chorale who's in our choir, who is a wonderful singer and a great person, and does not trust the singers around her, and so she's just blasting as loud as she can to kind of be a leader, even though she's not. We don't need it. So that's the best way to work with that. I really appreciated the way you worked on trying to get the phrasing to be moving. I think more dynamic contrast would really help with that, and I would love it if we could see a bit more dynamic contrast in a smaller box of pattern. Now that we've got the fluidity, can you create the fluidity in a small box? as well as a big box? That's the next question. Now, the next thing I wanted to bring up were your releases. When you personally mouth the end of your releases, here's what happens, what I noticed from the side. You went from here, all of a sudden up to here. And for somebody like yourself, carrying a lot less weight than I'm carrying, it just looked so regal, and it was such a healthy look. And I think would probably really give a great feeling to the choir. I know I felt more comfortable singing for you like that. I felt that is a person who's in charge, she's in control, she knows what she's doing, and she's got this down pat, and I can do what I need to do, and I know she's going to do what she needs to do. So I want you to think about that. I want you to think about when I stand and I mouth my words, I tend to put my shoulders back. I tend to put my chin back a little bit. I tend to mouth my words, and then I tend to use my hands at this level versus using my hands up at this level. I really loved that. It was a complete sense of security. Oh, your final consonant. I'm so sorry, Allie. You worked so darn hard at that in the rehearsal. And it was different from what it was before, but it's not what you want. I know it's not what you want. And I think what you're looking for would be like 2, 3, 1, qui, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, hold. So I think if you did it faster, that might get what you're looking for. Because what I saw was, you did the close, but it was, and that's how you got it like that. But faster should get you what you're looking for. I know you want less M, but I want to make sure we still have an M on the end. Because requia at the end, it's just a bad note to leave it on. Good job with the EOS. Nice, worked really great. That's pretty much all I had. When you were doing your game plan this next week with Dr. Kafey, I'm sure he's going to want to take a look particularly at bar 21. Make sure you got those tenor parts where they need to be. Make sure that everybody's set up there. He's going to want to take a look at bar 26. Make sure that your preps are all clean there as well. Make sure that you've got your ears ready for that chord at the beginning of bar 27. Jerusalem. Make sure everybody's together. He's probably going to want to check in with your upper voices at bar 28, right at the end in those 2/8 notes. And then hopefully he's going to give you some nice ways of working with the next section of sopranos. Because the sopranos by letter B are tired and bored. And are tired of being the soloists, which is a lot to say for sopranos. So, we've worked a lot with spin, keep the motion spinning forward, ladies, and thinking about the imagery of chorus angelorum, maybe using some words like light, fluffy, more sprite, less syrup. Different ideas like that might help to appeal to them, to keep the support happening but the nice light sound happening at the same time. Really good work. Glad to see what you've been able to do this last week. It was a huge difference. I didn't even have to tell you to put your hand behind your back because you didn't need it. You pulled it together. It was great. So kudos to you, and looking forward to seeing you next week. Bye.